Hello, friends. Welcome to IT Job Pulse. We have made a great progress so far, and today is 21st video of PMP training program. And the today's topic is planning, managing, and monitoring communication across stakeholders. So today I'll be dancing a little bit because I am doing this by standing. Okay, jokes apart, I will try to stay stable throughout the presentation. And also in projects, actually, you have to dance a lot. Okay, you have to make a lot of moves. Okay, you'll understand. That's why the topic is about planning, managing, and monitoring communication across stakeholders. Okay. Methodology, waterfall. Okay. I am following a special approach that I cover all the methodologies, and waterfall is the first one I'm picking up. Okay, though waterfall is not completely used these days. Very, in some projects we do use it, but some kind of agile scrum framework also comes into picture. But let's just focus on waterfall. My experience used from IBM Global Banking implementation project for HSBC. Okay, so this is a real-time project. Okay, but the name of the companies and the bank is not the actual one. Okay, I have just picked any random name just for a illustration purpose, just for the education purpose. Okay, project type core banking software upgrade. Now it is about banking domain. Okay, stakeholders, HSBC business heads, UK, India, HK, Hong Kong, IBM delivery team, testing team, regulators. Okay. So the stakeholders list is quite big, like it is just a high level list I have shared here. But in actual word, there are other people involved as well. You will understand. I will share in coming slides. Waterfall method, why it's special for this. Now, the purpose of using waterfall is in waterfall, everything goes step by step, right? Um, we have already covered in previous videos, so I will not get into the explanation part of it. Requirements, design, development, testing, deployment. Okay. That's why in waterfall, clear documented communication is very important upfront. In Waterfall, whatever we document, that is considered as final proof, and that is why documentation is really important and documented communication actually. Why did the stakeholder bring a ladder to the meeting? Because they heard the updates were going to be high level. Did you get it? So high level means they thought they need to just climb the ladder, and they will go at the top at the high end. They will understand high level requirements. Okay, jokes apart, no stakeholder has done that so far. Documents you need. Okay? Here are the real documents I used and created as a project manager. Okay, so first, like there are total 5 types of documentation. In the context of the topic I'm talking about, communication management plan. Okay, this is the master document for stakeholder communication. We have to communicate with stakeholders, and let me clarify the definition of stakeholder one more time. Like stakeholder is just not the business owners for whom we are developing the product or project. Okay, it is each and everyone who is getting involved into the project, and anyone who is also getting impacted by the outcome of the project. Okay, so it can be developer, scrum master, product owner, project manager. Okay, as we're talking about waterfall, so project manager, developers, testers, business analyst, solution architecture, technical architecture. Okay, so this is like everyone, including the development team and the business team and the operations, whomsoever is getting impacted or is part of the project. Okay, that is a stakeholder. So what we include in this plan? Who needs to know what? We cannot go to any person for any information. Okay, and that's why we need to understand who knows what and who needs to know what. How often they need updates? If I talk about business, weekly updates are given to the business. In some cases, like if it is a let's say operations related activity, daily updates might be required. What method? Email, meetings, reports. Email is used like 10-15%. Most of the time it's about meetings and meetings, 80% meetings and reports. We again, reports also mostly we discuss in the meeting. So it's more of a communication, responsible person for sending information, like who will be sending the information. Tools use Microsoft Word, shared in SharePoint. So we actually used Microsoft Word, this like simple Microsoft Word file, and SharePoint as well. So SharePoint is nothing but like the place, the drive where you store your files. Okay. So like Google Drive, you can consider the example. But in companies, they don't use Google Drive. Okay. But in our company, we started with Google Drive. Okay. Like it depends upon the organization to organization. Okay. RACI Matrix, the first one is a table showing who is responsible, accountable, consulted, informed. Okay. So is like you can understand by the name itself, like what RACI Matrix is all about. I've already explained in my previous videos, so I will not get into the depth of it. For each task or decision, uh, tools used Excel used during planning and reviewed weekly. So just let me give one short explanation. Let's say there is some task which needs to be completed. So whatever task or decision we need to make, so we need to have these four people for that task: who is responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who is informed. Okay. So this is RACI matrix. Because blaming the intern just isn't scalable anymore. So this is like, if we have it in place, we cannot blame anyone. Okay. So RACI matrix is really helpful. Then stakeholder register, a simple list of stakeholders, name, role, contact info, interest level, influence level. So it is again simple. Tools used Excel, created at start of the project. So like we have a columns, we make columns, we give them the numbers, we make the like tabs like name, role, contact info. So this is how typical Excel work we do. And we do it at the beginning of the project. Okay. Now here comes, what's a stakeholder's favorite movie? Silence of the Plans, because they never read them anyway. So they don't read the plans. That is why they write like Silence of the Plans. Fourth one, weekly status report. Yeah, just I mentioned about we give weekly update to the stakeholders. Like it has a format and format can change. Okay. Like so some it can like it can you can add anything related to, let's say if we are working on any document, let's say system interlocking document. Okay, so we can add it separately. So but the standard format is like progress, risks, issues, what's planned next, and tools used PowerPoint. Okay, so typical PPT we make, like you can see this PowerPoint presentation. Same kind of a presentation is shared with stakeholders weekly. We present it, okay, and we discuss about these all points like which are mentioned here. Okay, why did the status report get ghosted? Okay, it's a great question because it was too transparent and scared everyone. So you can understand the joke behind it and the scarcity part of it. Let's say the project is doing so bad, so worst, and it is completely transparent. And that is why when we see the outcome of this project, we are able to predict the future that the project is gonna have a lot of mess and it's gonna have a lot of challenges. Okay. So before I talk about fifth point, it's okay to have a failure, provided with your intent matters the most. Okay, how you want to deal with the problems, how you deal with the challenges, and ultimately, it's a teamwork. Okay, though project manager takes care of time, delivery, budget management, but ultimately, yeah, as a project manager, as a team, we need to make sure that we are putting the required work, not more than that, not less than that. So let's go to the fifth point, meeting minutes, MOM. Okay. Every meeting had notes. Like, let's say we are on a call, we are discussing requirements with stakeholders. So we will gather like what was discussed, what is the decision made, then action items. Okay. So tools used like Word, or mostly we have used Word. We have never used OneNote, but it can also be used. Okay. Sent within 24 hours of 24 hours of meeting. Mostly we follow the practice like within half an hour or so we send it. Okay. Then the question, what's the fastest way to clear a room? Say, let's read the meeting minutes together. So it is like nobody wants to read meeting minutes. Okay. Now, the next one is tools I used in real project at IBM. Okay. Outlook. What is the purpose of Outlook? Email, calendar for scheduling meetings. Okay. SharePoint, as I mentioned, store and share documents. MS Team meetings, video calls, chat. Okay. Even normal calls also. Excel, RACI Matrix we discussed, stakeholder register, PowerPoint, weekly updates, a steering committee, decks. Okay. Committee days, like, and if it is a global project, so they have it called something like global delivery forum. They call it global meetup, whatever name they want to give, they give it. But there is another forum which happens at the program level. Okay. Or it might be at two projects level. Okay. Jira for issue logging to track risks and escalations. So at the beginning, I mentioned it's a waterfall project, okay, and we are using Jira. But if you are using Jira, that does not mean the project becomes agile, Scrum, or hybrid. It is just used to track risks and escalations. They are not like we did not use it for a sprint or anything, because it's a waterfall project. Project managers don't use alarms. Their teams meetings ping to all the waking up. Yes. So as soon as you see the meeting, and you know that the like we have some delivery. I have some deliverables, and I know that I cannot deliver on the time, or it is the deadline is already passed. So how do you handle that? So that alarm is very dangerous than the alarm which wakes us up in the morning. Step by step, what I did as a PM. Okay. Identify stakeholders, planning phase. I listed every stakeholder from HSBC and IBM. I held a kickoff meeting with, okay. So now once, see, it is a simple sentence like stakeholders. We have to make a list, which I mentioned. Okay. And we identify stakeholders. Okay. We communicate, we interact with people, and we get to know the stakeholder list. Okay. And that's part of planning phase. Okay. So as it was the project between HSBC and IBM, so I did that. I held a kickoff meeting with all leads to understand who needs what information. Kickoff meeting, basically, once you have like the stakeholders, then we need to understand to start off the project. Okay. Then after that, I created a stakeholder register based on this, and RACI matrix based on the discussions. Okay. Step two, create the communication plan. I worked with my PMO, project management office, okay, team, and made a communication plan document. So again, we are talking about communication plan management. Okay. Now here, some like in today's world, mostly project managers are doing the PMO responsibilities. But yeah, it's not the same case everywhere, depending upon the project to project. So uh, in my current project, I am playing a lot of roles, like total five roles. Okay. So sometimes I become proxy product owner, sometimes I become lead business analyst, sometimes scrum master, then a business analyst also. Okay. So I'm playing a lot of roles in my current role. Like let's get back to the example. Okay. HSBC UK program sponsor wants updates every 2 weeks via email and presentation. So the program sponsor wants it every 2 weeks. So we have made the plan. IBM testing team wants daily stand-up call for updates. Okay. Right. Like related to testing, they want it. So the test this. The IBM team wants it daily, but the program sponsor wants it 2 weeks. Okay. Regulators want formal reports every month. Okay. So depending upon the person or depending upon the stakeholder, we make a communication plan. So let's say if you want to communicate in your house, so when you speak with your mother, when you speak with your father, you change your approach. Let's say your father is strict, so you make sure that whatever you have, let's say you like, let's go back to childhood. If you want to eat a chocolate, so you know that you will go to your mother, and that's how we make a communication plan, okay? But in more professional way. I just gave you simple example. Why did the developer stop answering emails? He thought reply all meant reply never. Yes. So it's just a fun element. Step three, hold regular meetings, execution phase. Now we are getting into the execution phase, that is daily teams syncs 15 minutes. Okay. So this is taken from like Scrum. Uh, Generally, it's just not about Scrum, but now we are talking about Scrum lot, Agile in today's world. In year 2025, I'm recording the video. So daily team syncs, like, it's just not about Scrum. It can be followed in Waterfall as well, but that does not make this project uh, hybrid. Weekly progress meeting with HSBC business teams, right? Which I mentioned already. Monthly steering committee with senior leaders. Okay. Now, golden rule. Always send agenda before and minutes after the meeting. Like, agenda is really important, and sending minutes after the meeting, like MOM, which I talked about, that is really important. Okay. Step four, track and monitor communication. I use a simple Excel tracker for sent reports, MOMs, and or missed any escalations raised. Okay. Example: if a stakeholder didn't respond for 3 days, I followed up personally. Okay. So this is basically a tracking which we do in Excel for these activities. Step five, handle communication breakdowns. One time, the India's testing team wasn't getting data access on time because the UK team didn't reply. I stepped in, organized a 30-minute triage call, resolved the issue, and then updated the communication plan to include new Slack channel. So mostly, like, if generally lead business analyst uh, helps in this task, but I did it, and it is like, depending upon the situation, project manager, depending upon the criticality, this kind of a challenge is handled. Okay, so the real example template from the product HSBC. Okay, now if you see, I have told you like it was high level stakeholder list. Okay, so again, all the names are not real. Okay, just to make sure that I'm not sharing any private or confidential information. So this is like, you can see the role. Okay, so business analyst lead. So like there is, like, if you see, just because the size was getting very big, so one or two roles, like let's say, uh, if it is mentioned as business analyst lead, but there are business analyst or senior business analyst also required, solution architecture. So technical architecture is not mentioned here. Okay. Test manager is already there. Tester is not mentioned. Okay. So the list, the more the more the big project is, the list becomes uh, broader. Okay, so you can see that this is what done here. Like, department is mentioned, interest level, okay, influence level, communication needs. Okay, so they, like, we are categorizing it because we need to make sure that we are approaching to the right person with the right approach. Okay, communication needs executives, like, you cannot go back, you cannot go to training manager with executive summary, because that doesn't make sense, right? If it is test related work, testers, so whatever the relevant work is, it should go to the relevant person. That is why the interest level, influence level, and communication needs matter. And preferred method, like, depending upon the stakeholder, okay, or the demand or by the demand or as per the demand of the project also. So frequency is like daily, bi-weekly, monthly, okay, ad hoc, okay, depending upon the requirement. Okay. I created a communication log to track who read my updates. Turns out no one. It's just a sad Excel sheet now. Yeah, jokes apart again, guys. I'm trying to make you laugh as well. Sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed, but doesn't matter. I'll keep trying my level best. Final tips from 10 years in the field, like it's now 13th year, okay? But in the project management, you can say 10 years of experience. Always confirm understanding, don't assume, right? So, like, one important critical thing I want to mention here in one of my, like, in the same project, like we added a region, okay, one region, okay, extra region. So there were two countries, and I added one more region, consider US, okay. But I did not inform to the architecture team, and after a month's time, we got to know that I missed it, okay. So it impacted delivery of the architectural diagram. Okay. And I was held responsible for that thing. And I actually accepted it because it was my fault. And there's no shame or harm saying that I failed. Yes. But in that entire project, only that one mistake was done by me. Rest, I was doing really well, and I did a really well at the end. And I made sure that whatever loss we had, I covered it. And it's okay. I'm saying one more time, failure is a part of project management or life or wherever you go. Without failure, you cannot have a great success. Okay. Set communication expectations early. Like whatever expectations, like setting expectations is really important. You cannot just go to anybody and start speaking. Okay. Use clear, jargon-free language in reports. Yeah, this is really important. If you are sending something to business owners, like they are non-technical people, if you use a lot of jargons, okay, and then it's not good. Okay. Don't wait for stakeholders to ask, proactively update them. Yes, it is very important to give regular updates to stakeholders. Stakeholders means everyone, and the regular communication, regular updates helps us keep on track. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Very simple. I mentioned, like, I missed to update the region part. Okay. So whatever you miss, okay, if it is documented, uh, but if it is not communicated, then again it creates a problem. So documentation is really important in Waterfall. Don't worry, we'll talk about Agile and Agile Scrum framework and hybrid, but this is only related to Waterfall. In coming next video, I'll cover Agile and hybrid. So project tip, never underestimate the power of snacks and calendar invites with aggressive reminders. Templates are like gym memberships. Everyone downloads them, but only PMs actually use them. Yes. So this is where we are coming to the end for the project management communication plan. Okay. And yeah, so this is it. I just wanted to cover the most important point is no matter what, just keep your intent good, you will succeed in the projects. Okay. And if one failure comes, don't just stick to that failure. It happened. Just please move on and look after other things. So on that note, I have done some kind of a dance today, little bit of dance. Okay. I hope you have liked the video. So we'll meet in the next video in the second part of this. Till then, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.